Welcome to Baxter Bell Yoga. I'm Baxter Bell, and two quick things before we jump into our practice today. First, if you're watching this on YouTube and you find the video valuable, please like it. Secondly, if you want to learn more about my yoga teaching, whether that's yoga classes online or in person, yoga privates or yoga therapy privates, or upcoming workshops and retreats, there's one easy place to find all that information. That's my website, baxterbell.com. So without further ado, let's jump right into our practice. So I recently shared with you how to make this nifty little yoga prop, two balls in a sock, so using a couple of tennis balls. So take a look at that video if you haven't already gathered your ingredients and made that for yourself. But for those of you that have it ready for action, I thought I'd show you today one of my favorite areas to work with this, which is up in the back of the neck, up towards the shoulder area. And it's not very exciting to see, but it at least will give you a sense of how you can use this. But believe me, when you do it, you're going to really like how it feels. Now, with that, let me give you one caveat. If the sensation that arises is too intense for your body, then certainly move the balls up or down a little bit to find a spot that is more acceptable and sustainable for you to hold for a little while. And I'm just going to be showing you the spots for just a couple of seconds. We're not going to stay super long. But in your own practice, I would highly recommend maybe following your breath and trying to do timings of anywhere between 30 seconds and a minute or more. So the longer you settle in, the more you can really let those tissues take advantage of the pressure of the balls against the myofascial tissues in the back of the neck. So this is pretty simple. You're just going to come down into constructive rest position. Let me move my extra stuff out of the way. And once you're down there, what I like to start by doing is taking the balls and I place them kind of crosswise to the body. So there's one on the left side and right side. And I start with the ball right in the back of the head, the skull, halfway between the crown of the head and the base of the skull. So sometimes the ball will want to roll, especially toward the neck. So I'll usually put my thumbs on the side of the ball that's closer to my neck, just so it doesn't roll that way. And then once I've got that set, I want to make sure I'm not dropping my head back, keeping the head kind of neutral, maybe chin even tucked a little bit toward the chest. Just let those thumbs lightly touch the front edge of the balls as related to your shoulders, and then simply relax into it, release into it. So, I might stay here, as I said, for anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute. Today, for our demonstration purposes, I'm just going to be here for a few seconds. Once I've been there for a little while, I usually carefully lift my head a little bit and just slide the balls towards my shoulders an inch or so. And again, I bring my head down to rest on the balls. I keep my thumbs at the front so they don't slide towards my shoulders. And then keeping the chin a little bit toward the chest, so I don't want to drop the head back in space necessarily, I'll settle in for 30 seconds to a minute. And I usually time my breath length so that I can know how many breaths to do, and I don't have to look at a watch or keep setting a timer for that. My next spot, by lifting up, will now be getting close to where the skull meets the neck. So this is a really important area in my body when I do this because I get lots of sensation here. And it's strong sensation. It's not exactly painful, but it's intense. So I have to make a qualitative decision. Can I sustain that in a good way, in a healthy way, or does it feel like a warning sign is going off or a warning symbol is going off in my body that says maybe move that spot? So you'll have to make those decisions as you encounter them. And then I would lift my head a little bit, move the ball down another inch, and now I'm on the neck proper. So as I get to here, my head's going to want to drop back a little bit. I usually bend my other fingers. I got my thumbs at the front of the ball. I bend my other fingers up to support the back of the head, and then soften the neck and head into the support of the ball. I'll stay there for 30 seconds to a minute. I'll lift up and roll down another inch. Again, I usually curl my fingers up a little bit so that the back of my fingers, part of my fingers is on the floor, but my fingertips are gently supporting the back of my skull, and my neck can soften into the balls. All right. Some of you might like to experiment with the head dropping back, but I would just caution you that that can be a little more vulnerable for the neck. So do that with awareness that you might want to come out quickly, all right, if it doesn't feel right. And then I'll work my way down another inch or so. I'm a little around mid-neck. Again, here when I get a little bit lower, it's a little easier to let the head come down. So I might experiment with that for a moment. If it doesn't feel quite right, I'll come back up to prop the head on the fingers. And then I might go down so that I'm getting a little closer to the base of the neck. And here I find that usually my head can rest comfortably on the floor with my chin still tucking a little bit toward the chest and settling in. And of course from there I might lift up and place it underneath the upper shoulders. And here I might slip a folded blanket or a block under my head. I'm just using my hands for demonstration right now. But at this point, because it's going to go into the chest, I might want to have more support for the neck and head. And then when you're ready, you'll remove that. You might just take a moment with the back of the head resting on the ground to check in and notice any residual sensation that persists when you're done. And finally, rolling to one side, you might bring yourself up to sit for a moment and then floating your head above your shoulders, just taking that moment to notice how that area feels. So that's a little exploration of our new prop, the 2 balls in a sock prop, as it relates to the neck. We'll probably do another one of these videos where we look at some other places that we can use that as well. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to follow me on Baxter Bell Yoga at my Facebook and YouTube channels. And if you're watching this on YouTube and you enjoyed it, please hit like for me and look for all my upcoming workshops and retreats. Some great stuff coming up. All that stuff is on my website. Lots of online opportunities to study with me these days. Thank you so much, everyone. Namaste.